Speaking.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to Honkai Star Rail, once again recording ahead. There are about 10 hours left on this banner. So, if I don't get Aventurine... So, as you can tell by the fact that I have Stellar Jades, I did do some stuff off camera. No quests, just like finishing up some old event stuff that had been too hard for me when it first ran, and a little bit of achievement hunting in Simulated Universe, and also Simulated Universe because the week reset. Bruh. I know I'm in the 70s at this point. My pity is in the 70s. He is making me work. Okay. Well. Well. You know what? How about we take a look at this to find... What? Hi? This is new, I think. But, yeah, let's take a look at this to find quests we still can do on Penacony. Dream's Edge. Okay, there's something here. Oh, wait, there's this over here too. Oh, Woolsey! More stuff with Woolsey. We could do that. You know what? I will do that, actually. Where is he? Down here? The streamscape area is still under construction and off limits to visitors for now. But since you're here, you must have gotten a thumbs up from the higher-ups, so I won't ask anything. Anyway, come to us Bloodhounds if you're in trouble. Is there anyone worth my attention? Oh, this is a good question. There's no one more in the know than us Bloodhounds. In truth, there are a bunch of quite special people, yep. I gotta pay him off. Again. You know, I wonder if I could get away with not paying him off if I changed his mood. I should try that. The hound silently observes you and the burgeoning dreams, even though it is merely a statue. As your eyes meet, the hound swiftly departs into the depths of the memory zone.
Yes,
Oh, nice. Spell 5 hound statues. I was thinking there had to be something going on with that. Also, hello. Bow. Oh, wait. Oh, nice. Okay. Jesus, there's how many stickers? Okay. Anyways. Chadwick. Hello, sir. The elderly man in front of you gazes calmly at the city of dreams in the distance. Following his gaze, you see puffs of smoke billowing from the fictional horizon of the city, signaling yet another time of merriment for the dream chasers. The glamorous city of festivities sounds so distant that it feels like a world apart from the elderly man and you. He sits upright like a statue. Even his breathing is hardly perceptible. You can't help holding in your breath when staring at him. To your surprise, you realize that one does not have to breathe in the dreamscape. How are you doing, young nameless? How'd you know? The elderly man sets his sight upon your left shoulder. A lot of things have slipped my mind, but I remember that symbol. The Nameless are a legendary bunch. It's been so long since I last talked to someone. Far too long. My name is Chadwick. May I have yours? Beto. What a special name. I used to be able to tell a person's origin from their name. But you're special. I mean, nobody knows my origin. Don't worry about it, dude. I can feel the surging vitality in you even through the thick filter of the dreamscape. You can't stop. You spend every moment of your life going on an adventure. Or more precisely, a trailblazing journey. That energy you possess is inexhaustible and seems to be constantly overflowing. It's more than most beings I know can take. The elderly man's voice is palpable with excitement. The unknown about you intrigues and delights me. Both are emotions I haven't experienced for a long time. After all, I still know nothing about myself to this day. Thank you for being here. You're very perceptive. As much as I want to keep this conversation going, I'm afraid I can't, as they're here. Who? Bloodhounds? Sorry for disturbing you, Dr. Chadwick. We have received word that you are being harassed by an unknown individual. We're here to help you evict the intruder. We were just having a chat. Intruder, do I have to remind you that this area isn't open to dream chasers? We have the authority to expel anyone who violates the family's rules from the dreamscape. Okay, I'm leaving. Don't you dare lay a finger on me. Please, Moira. I like this kid. Could you let her off the hook this time? Please do it for my sake. You know how I detest violence. Fine, Dr. Chadwick. I'm doing this as a favor to you just this once. Go away, Dream Chaser. Don't ever go near Dr. Chadwick again, or you'll suffer the consequences. Tick-tock! Over here, quickly! The hell, man? We were just talking!
Constructing dreams is something sacred, reflective.
Hey, Clocky. Tick-tock! There's something fishy about that old man. Why is he alone here, and why is he being supervised? It's bothering me, Tick-tock. Yeah, I don't think he's anyone ordinary. I feel the same way, too. No wonder you're my friend. I can sense that the old man is missing something. Tick-tock, what a poor guy. How about we hide and wait for the family people to leave so that we can help him? It's time for my clockwork to do its trick. After a long wait, the Bloodhound family members guarding Chadwick finally leave. Finally, they're gone. What a patient bunch they are. Hurry up and check on Chadwick. How come you're still here? I'd really love to talk to you more, but you can't stay here for long. The Bloodhound family never gives second warnings. What's the deal with you, dude? Without a doubt, the clockwork is successful. However, Chadwick's expression remains unchanged. Yet, you can discern an underlying change taking place beneath the surface. Years of experience have taught the elderly man to conceal his emotions, but he can't stop his body from trembling in uncontainable joy and anger. My memory seems to be coming back. Things are coming out in a surge. The memories are fragmented and incomplete, but I can see them. The elderly man's limbs stop shaking in fury. He shuts his eyes, trying to trace back everything in his life. Countless scattered fragments flash before me. I try to catch them with a net, but they keep slipping through the mesh slyly and vanish into the ocean of unconsciousness. Only a few fragments are caught by the mesh and stay in the net. I have to pick them up cautiously. I saw something. It looked like a type of weapon which brought about endless slaughter and death. I seem to be related to it. Why, I don't see myself as someone who finds pleasure in violence. That's a dreadful thought. Maybe you were once caught up in a war. That's probably the case, But there's something different about that sensation. I don't want to continue that train of thought. I also saw some people. Oh, those extraordinary characters. Even in fragmented memories, they can shine. I used to be one of them. I am the Genius Society. I finally remember. I was once a member of the Genius Society. If so, why are you here? Just like you, I wonder about the same thing. I've been stuck in this meaningless dreamscape for too long. Why would I while my time away without the slightest thought of rescuing myself? Could it be... Chadwick furrows his brows as he glances at the spot where the Bloodhound family members walked past earlier. The family. They must have done something to me that left me powerless to fight back. I can't free myself on my own. Some sort of powerful external force has to intervene. Like the Genius Society. I happen to know of a few of its members. Would you be willing to lend a hand to an elderly man you barely know? The fact that you're confined by the family bothers me. I see. You're driven by your sense of justice. Thank you. This dream is beautiful, yet unreal. If I keep staying here, I won't ever be able to rescue myself. You've brought me a glimmer of hope. That's more than enough. You should go before the Bloodhound family members are back. I'll be waiting for your return with hope. Chadwick from the Genius Society. I haven't heard of him before. Let me text Herta and ask her about him. Hey Herta. I want to ask you something. Do you know someone called Chadwick? Chadwick? That's a pretty common name. There must be tens of billions of Chadwicks across the universe. Can you be more specific? He's a Genius Society member. I met an old man named Chadwick inside the Penacony dreamscape. He said he was once a member of the Genius Society. You think I have the time to waste joking around with you? You're joking, aren't you? No, I'm not joking. I don't understand what's funny about that. So, you're serious? Come back to the space station and meet me ASAP. Oh, and... keep your lips sealed about this. Do not go blabbing about this to anyone. I am not joking either. Alright, ma'am. Can do. To the space station we go. Herta's office. Oh, Scrollum's here too. That was fast. You've got a lot going on here. It's been a while. I hope life is treating you well. There's no time for pleasantries now, Screwy. Let's cut to the chase. There's no rush, Herta. Assumption. If Chadwick has been stuck in Penacony for tens of thousands of system hours, I think we can afford a couple of minutes to discuss the issue. You can act all righteous as you want, but I can no longer wait. The things he's keeping are too valuable. So, are you saying that Chadwick was... Right, he was indeed a member of the Genius Society back then. That man is the real deal. I mean, his research is very valuable. Calderon Chadwick, Genius Society number 79. His expertise includes solid-state physics, applied theory of imaginary numbers, and ballistics. Sounds impressive. He is, for his groundbreaking achievements in his areas of specialization. I have been traveling across the universe since the flame of life was ignited in my core. Throughout the long journey, I rarely met souls that truly deserved to be called a genius. Madame Herta is one of them, and so is Calderon Chadwick. Thanks for throwing in a compliment for me. I met Dr. Chadwick twice. Our first encounter happened when he was still young and ambitious, and the second was decades later. His situations in both meetings were starkly different. Recollection. Dr. Chadwick once asked for my help. He was about 50 at that time. I agreed to help him at that time. Ever since then, I have never heard from him again. It was as if he had never existed in the universe at all. Until Madame Herta received your text. He's alive, but his memory has been stripped away. The family. Who knows what kind of scheme they're brewing? Screwy, what do you think we should do? There are too many uncertainties surrounding this matter. For now, I'm unable to come up with a convincing solution based on the limited information. Hypothesis. Dr. Chadwick offended the family for some reason and was confined in the dreamscape as a result. Things still don't quite add up in this scenario. As far as I know, Calderon Chadwick is not a long-life species. It has been decades since I was last in touch with him. Something is keeping him alive until now. I'm afraid there's only one way to unravel the mystery. I'd like to travel to Penacony myself and find a chance to visit Dr. Chadwick. Would you like to join me? It is my honor to travel with you, Screwlum. Likewise. There is something I have to tell you before we go. The most outstanding achievement of Calderon Chadwick's life is the invention of a weapon called Imaginary Implosion Pulse. That weapon took millions of lives and destroyed countless homes. Man, playable Screwlum when... I think there's leaks out there about that, actually, so if that's the case, don't tell me.
Haven of memories. Every touch, every moment is like a thorned rose.
You're finally here again. It's good to see you in person. Each of our encounters bore an extraordinary significance, and for that I am grateful. It's been quite some time since I last came here. The lobby of the Reverie is still as extravagant as I remember. Let's head to the reception and ask about Chadwick's whereabouts. I've always regarded dreams with awe, hence I rarely frequent Penacony, that planet of festivities. To me, the so-called sweet dreams are often saccharine and insincere, a stark contrast to the true shape of a dream. I wonder— no! He got cut off! Welcome to Penacony. How can I help you? I see you've brought a friend today. My name is Screwlum, madam. Please forgive me for coming here uninvited and without checking in. You should be able to see my name on the permanent VIP list of the family. Oh, fancy. Allie's face twitches slightly upon hearing the name of Screwlum, but she is quick to compose herself. You really admire her professionalism. Just a moment, Mr. Screwlum. Your name is indeed on the permanent VIP list. Welcome back to Penacony, Mr. Screwlum. What can I do for you? We're here to visit a hotel guest. Dr. Calderon Chadwick. Could you arrange for us to meet? From what I know, he's been staying here for quite some time. Calderon Chadwick. That name doesn't ring a bell to me, which is strange. Please bear with me while I check the system data. That won't be necessary, Allie. I'm sorry, gentlemen. Dr. Chadwick can't meet with visitors at the moment. And what if we insist on meeting him? Count yourself lucky that I can't read. Count yourself lucky that Mr. Screwlum is with you, Dream Chaser. Otherwise, let's not escalate the situation. The family wouldn't want to disturb the guests in the lobby, right? To the best of my knowledge, Calderon Chadwick isn't a long-life species, and the last time I talked to him was 2 Amber Eras ago. I've been wondering this for a while. How long is an Amber Era, actually? Like, have they ever clarified that? I'm going to assume it's like about a century? Question. By what means did the family extend the lifespan of Calderon Chadwick? Has that means been approved by the Interastral Health Organization? Does it comply with the regulations of Penacony? I don't have the authority to answer your questions or allow unauthorized visits to Dr. Chadwick, sir. Please leave. There's no room for negotiation here. Understood. Your actions speak of your loyalty to the family. Well, I can assume you'd rather turn the family against Planet Screwlum, Intellitron Planet IX, just to uphold your principles. Am I correct? Are you prepared to bear the consequences of being the enemy of the Genius Society? He's so intimidating all of a sudden. Please excuse me for a moment. I need to consult our family head. Mora is gone for a while. When she returns, her facial expression has softened a great deal. My sincerest apologies for the inconvenience. The family head has instructed me to let Mr. Screwlum and this nameless lady here through. Please come with me. Alright then.
One peach soul glad? Shaken? Nuts. Why isn't there a sugar-free soul glad option?
We're gonna get into one of the locked rooms. This is Dr. Chadwick's room. The regulations prohibit the bloodhounds from entering the hotel rooms without the guest's permission, so I'll stay outside. You guys have stringent regulations here. The regulations are set by the head of our family. I'm afraid Dr. Chadwick can't answer the door in his current state. Let me open it. Come in. Dr. Calderon Chadwick, sorry for showing up here all of a sudden. We hope you don't mind our unexpected visit. After you. We did it. You weigh a dusty suitcase with your hand. It is obviously empty. It may have been left untouched in this room for centuries. You know what? Actually, hang on. I gotta check something. Terms. Amber Era. Oh, I see. Okay. As Qlipoth swings their hammer at unpredictable intervals, the duration of every Amber Era varies significantly. The length of one Amber Era has been anywhere between 76 to 240 Trailblaze years when converted. I see. So, it's a long-ass time, basically. But there's no, like, definite answer. In this dingy, stuffy room, the only thing that reminds you of flowing time is the pulsing, hovering liquid bubbles in the dream pool. But they won't be able to tell you where Professor Chadwick went. The fireplace heating is turned on, yet the whole room is chilly like an icy cavern. You can't imagine a normal person living in a space so cold. I think I might know where Chadwick is. Please come and take a look. If my assumptions hold, has the family taken us for a ride? No, that bloodhound didn't lie. The secret is right in front of us. Screwlum reaches his hand slowly into the dream pool. Gently, he scoops up a translucent bubble from the liquid. The moment the bubble leaves the surface of the liquid, it starts floating upward until it is hovering in midair. At last we meet again, Dr. Calderon Chadwick. What do you mean? Deduction. The likelihood of Calderon Chadwick as a short-life species remaining alive to this day in a corporeal state is close to 0. As of now, no longevity technology has been able to extend the natural lifespan of a normal human by 2 amber arrows. On the other hand, the family in Penacony has a deep understanding of Memoria and its related technologies. Even though they can't sustain Chadwick's body, they could still extract the substance from the depths of his brain, allowing his consciousness to survive. It's immortality in a sense. For sure, many wouldn't think this counts as being alive. It depends on each person's beliefs, religion, and way of thinking. One question remains. Why would the family go to such lengths to store Chadwick's memory here? What significance does his memory hold for them? Perhaps they're concerned about that weapon you mentioned. I don't think the family is capable of extracting any useful information from Chadwick's mind. It's because Screwlum hesitates and trails off after the sentence. Let's talk about this elsewhere in case someone is listening to our conversation. The Bloodhounds have excellent hearing. You have the right to learn the story in its entirety. If you hadn't informed Madame Herta of your discovery out of kindness, it cannot be said how long Chadwick would have been confined here. So I need a favor from you. I'd like you to pass something over to Dr. Calderon Chadwick for me in the dream. I believe that thing will help him come to his senses. What about you? I'll negotiate with the upper echelons of the family toward the aim of taking Chadwick's memory bubble with me. Until then, I hope you'll learn the full story from Chadwick, including matters that happened before he went missing. May you have a nice dream. Medicine of unknown use. Got anything else to say, Screwy? Nope. Okay. Screwy, that's such a funny nickname. Okay, back to Dream's Edge.
To dream is effortless, but to create dreams is arduous.
The elderly man in front of you gazes calmly at the city of dreams in the distance. Dr. Chadwick? Oh, youngster, I'm glad that I can still recognize you. You still remember the elderly man's upbeat voice when you two parted ways last time. That tiny, flickering flame of hope in his eyes seems to have been snuffed out again. I'm happy you're willing to talk with me, but you shouldn't come here. Moira, and the rest of the Bloodhounds for that matter, won't be pleased to see you. They won't come around looking for trouble anymore. You mean... I probably don't need to know the details. I've heard stories about the Nameless, and I believe you must be as talented as those in the stories. Do you remember Screwlum? Screwlum. Screwy. As if struck by lightning, Chadwick's eyes suddenly widen and quickly contract again. The gloom covering his eyes dissipates, and he appears bright-eyed. Screwlum. Where is he? He promised he would help me. Wait, no. He did fulfill his promise, and he didn't fail me. I was the one who went missing. Both my ears and mouth were covered, and I was blindfolded. Why? Why is everything in such a chaotic, disorderly manner? I'm a member of the Genius Society. But what did I do, and what have I forgotten? Who bound me to this illusionary world? Show the bottle of pills to Chadwick. Is this a bottle of pills? Screwlum wants to help you. Got it. This is his idea, right? Now, my chest feels like it holds the entire universe in it. I can see it flicker and feel its pulse, but I know nothing about it. But when you showed me the bottle of pills earlier, a voice came from a distant corner of my universe. It tried to persuade me to trust Screwlum and you. Chadwick's face beams with a smile. It is the first time you have seen genuine joy on his face. Who am I to be picky now, right? I'll take it. Just bumped the desk. Whoops. I'm ready. Let me help. Oh, this is gonna be like a full thing, huh? The young Calderon Chadwick is standing right before you. He wears the same contemplative expression even after several Amber eras. Is this the place? Yes, Dr. Chadwick. Starting from here, we, the IPC Technology Department, and your team will shape the future of the galaxy together. Don't be overconfident, Dudley. I'm not fully certain that this project will work out. Haha, take it easy. What we need is you on our team, not a 100% success rate. Honestly speaking, Dud, I'm a bit apprehensive about this. What you guys are seeking is a weapon that only exists theoretically. It could cause an upheaval in the galaxy. Of course, Chad. Don't ever underestimate the technology department. We may not be geniuses like you, but we're plenty visionary. The Amber Lord just swung their hammer, announcing the beginning of a new era. It means that the legendary cosmic catastrophe is drawing close. No explanation needed. I've read the brief history of the universe to know enough. By the way, I'm surprised you're a supporter of the catastrophe theory. That's not totally true. I'll just support any theory with the most commercial value. It sounds like something you would say. There's something you can't deny. Since the cancer of all worlds started spreading, the Legion and the Annihilation Gang have become more and more active. Our mission here is to prepare and ward off those threats. I don't want to say things like we're working for a just cause, because I know you aren't that naive, Chad. I just think that our lives can be a lot easier if we don't complicate stuff. I don't want to spend all day delving into this subject with you. Let's go down. I'm a little scared, but one slightly stronger. Forgive me, but I cannot tell you the exact coordinates of this planet. Orders from up top. It's to prevent you all from abandoning the task beforehand. I hope you'll understand, Chad. But I can tell you this. You will absolutely not be disturbed here. I see. But you should know that too? That if I wanted, I would find a way to locate my position. It's not that hard. Dudley laughs out loud instead of fielding a response. Of course he knows that. It is a genius who stands before him. Are those true stings? You're right, and I think they're probably from the swarm disaster era. It's been a long while since anyone stepped foot here. I won't be surprised by anything I see in this facility. I'm impressed you guys managed to find this place. This is the first time I've seen living true stings. It's a pity you aren't a biologist. Let's clear this place up or we can't start working. Otto, take these guys out.
This is double speed.
Receive divinity.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Took the opportunity to drink some water and stretch.
Another blood debt repaid.
Yeah, I was not expecting this to be quite so in-depth. Ladies and gentlemen, the space beyond this door is where we concoct the miracle. Is Dr. Chadwick inside? I never thought I'd end up working alongside that genius. Please hold your horses. Before you all officially become Dr. Chadwick's colleagues, there's something I want to remind you. By walking through this door, you'll be selecting a different life for yourselves. This lab will be your life for a very long time to come. You will work, research, have fun, and make friends here, isolated from the outside world until this project is launched or fails. If you aren't ready for this kind of life, you may go before I open this door. I've been studying imaginary theories since the age of 15. Working with Dr. Chadwick is my lifelong ambition. Right, this is an opportunity others could only dream of. That door is nothing. As scientists, we've long dedicated our lives to science. You guys are just like him. I believe you'll have a great time working with Dr. Chadwick. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please come on in. I can shake the world from right here. We study, research, and work night and day. They rarely question things. They trust me. I wouldn't go messing around with imaginary power. I mean, that stuff's, like, really important. The 37th detonation test unsuccessful. The energy waves from the collision failed to tear up the imaginary fissure. The detonation capsule did not reach the critical threshold. Why? Lift the safety protocols. Increase the collision rate to 1.3 times the default threshold. Let's take it from there. But... This is too risky, and might even compromise the researchers' safety. Exactly. We can try one more time. There's no need to... We've tried too many times. It's clear that we won't make any progress if we go down the same road. Over the past 3 years, we've overcome nearly every theoretical hurdle. The scientific achievements born in this lab are enough to leave the universe amazed. But if we fail to build the imaginary implosion pulse, our efforts will all be in vain. The IPC won't allow us to take the scientific results with us, not even a single page. As physicists, we must succeed. Dude, you're messing with forces. After overcoming the bottleneck, the experiment went smoothly. The lab even received visitors. You're messing with forces that, I don't know if you quite understand. My team and I are honored to have you here to watch the detonation test. This lab doesn't welcome visitors, but you're special, Mr. Screwlum. The technology department wants to stay in your good graces. You're welcome, Dr. Chadwick. I'm floored by you and your colleagues' achievements. Please allow me to ask you some questions, as curiosity sometimes compels me to ignore the decorum, just like what organic life experiences. Why did you agree to take part in the development of a weapon as destructive as the imaginary implosion pulse? Dudley, my friend from the technology department, said that the weapon could be used to contain the destruction's forces. He said we were doing the right thing. I'm very sorry, Dr. Chadwick. I shouldn't have sprung that question on you and put you in a position to give an insincere answer. I think we're all free to choose the life we prefer. We can put aside those redundant thoughts that distract us and focus on our tasks at hand and areas of expertise. But you must be cautious, Doctor. For people like us, even a minor slip-up can impact the entire universe. Our wisdom is both a blessing and a burden. Some advice is too late to be given now. Now we already know that the box contains a monster. I hope you'll safeguard it and make sure it won't be opened by some ignorant kids. Thanks for your advice, Mr. Screwlum. I hope I'll see you again one day. Hurry it up. Round up anyone who dares to resist. No one should hinder the detonation. Oh, jeez. Are they really going to use the pulse? Professor Chadwick, where is he? Only he can put a stop to all this. Screwlum's words forced me to face myself. Captain, we've located Professor Chadwick. Good, we still have time then. Take him to the control room. I'll notify Director Dudley. Hurry, go. But the moment of clarity always comes too late.
Stream forth the gleam of old blades.
Oh, moments like these, I'm really grateful to have Acheron.
Stream forth the gleam of old blades.
My nightmare finally came. I'm very sorry to tell you this, Chad. You might be a genius in your field, but you know nothing about power. Your naivety blinds you from seeing the big picture, and you don't even understand the era you're in. You should have realized long ago that we're both merely pawns in this game of chess. Once we're placed on the chessboard, we are no longer in control of our fate. Weapons are made to eliminate enemies. Is that hard to understand? Or is it that hard to understand? Over a dozen vanguard units of the Legion are preparing to attack the joint trade routes. Their presence can directly threaten Pierpoint's safety. Our enemies are closing in. This is the perfect time to test the power of the imaginary implosion pulse. You have 1,000 other ways to stop them that can incur lower costs and affect fewer innocents. I've got it, finally. What we've done here for the past 20 years is just an experiment. The result of our work never truly belongs to us. Stop lying to yourself, Chad. You knew what you were getting into right from the beginning, but you chose to ignore it. Come here, bomb maker. It's time to show the Legion our might. The end of my creation, something something. Ballistic trajectory pre-calculation is complete. Margin of error, plus or minus 0.08%. Charging detonation, platform, 60%, 70%, 85%, complete. Reviewing collider status, 30%, 50%, 75%, complete. Automatic cruise AI deployed. Enemy contact detonation AI deployed. Imaginary implosion pulse preparation complete. Ready to detonate at any moment. How many collateral targets are there in the blast range? Calculation in progress. There are an estimated 24 planets at the satellite level or above within the blast range. Among them, there are 3 secondary planets with civilizations of grade D or above. The amount of collateral damage is acceptable. Fuck you. The detonation plan can proceed as scheduled. It's time, bomb maker. Hit the detonate button. I know this is just memories, but What are you doing? Press it now. Ah, I get it. You're afraid of taking the blame, aren't you? Fret not. The one who presses the button is neither you nor I. We won't even be mentioned if this incident is later reported. Now, do it. You sympathize with Dr. Chadwick, right? I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but Calderon Chadwick isn't worth your sympathy. He'd long foreseen the outcome, but he chose to ignore it and carry on the research at all costs. Selfishly, he put his talent before everything else. He doesn't care the least bit about anyone else. Now, do it. I'm not going to say anything else. You've just wasted your final opportunity. Hey, you. Do it. Yeah. I have to. It literally won't let me not. Detonation command confirmed. Collider charging in progress. 20%, 50%, 75%. Critical detonation threshold reached. Automatic cruise AI activated. Locking target. 30%, 70%. Complete. Lock-on AI activated. Warming up. 20%, 40%, 80%. Chamber temperature has reached threshold. Imaginary implosion pulse is about to be launched. 5. Dud. 4. Don't hold it against me, Chad. We have to be responsible for our choices. 3. My name will forever be cursed. What's the price you have to pay, Dudley? 2. Look, Chad, this is your problem. You always take your gifts and talents for granted, and you have no idea there are people like me. 1. No one will remember us. 0. Imaginary implosion pulse, detonate. Okay, but that was really well done. What I just experienced, was that the first half of Chadwick's life? But this memory isn't over yet. Let's take a look at what happened to him after. Oh boy, there's even more. Oh, it's you again. Now you have experienced half my life and learned about my story. I'm not sure what to make of you. Me too, child. Ever since that day, I don't dare to even glance at myself in the mirror. I'm worried I might see a monster. A murderer who has killed countless people and ruined even more lives. That day in the control room was the last time I saw Dudley. Perhaps it's true that pawns don't deserve to be mentioned, just like how he put it. After that, I disbanded the team and left the lab. I managed to take some crucial data with me to keep them from falling into the wrong hands. I later learned from others that the higher-ups of the technology department who ordered the imaginary implosion pulse detonation were subjected to an internal review. They were never heard of again. But I knew that IPC wouldn't let the matter rest. The result of our research was way too valuable. Although they released a statement condemning the detonation, they would never really give up the technology related to it. They needed me to control the knowledge and keep it out of reach of other factions across the universe, so they would always be breathing down my neck. So I decided to escape, not wanting to live the rest of my life being controlled by others. A name came to my mind when I needed help the most. We only met once, but he saw through my hypocrisy and excuses. Screw them. Yes, I made up my mind to look for him, thinking that he could help me rebel against the IPC. This is the story of the latter part of my life. Bro is basically just Oppenheimer. Like that's pretty much just what's happening here. Right? Why did I come back this way? There's a path over here. But, like, because this series is set in space, everything's on, like, a way bigger scale. Once upon a time, when there was no interaction between different worlds, some civilizations were already in possession of weapons powerful enough to destroy themselves. Out of fear for power, they established complicated laws and regulations in an attempt to prevent these self-unmaking devices from falling into the hands of the insane or the violent. When the starry seas later became interconnected by winding routes, the exchange of technology and resources began. New weapons, many times more powerful than the original ones, emerged one after another. Bewilderingly, those complicated rules in place to limit the abuse of weapons became increasingly simplified as more and more powerful weapons were invented. People were more tolerant of weapons when they were used against enemies. Let's say there was a faraway planet where its people were being ravaged by ferocious flames, with their cries echoing throughout the sky. Yet, for you and I, lying beneath the tree and gazing at the sky, the planet would be just another star plucked by someone from many others. Yeah. Wait, that was the third piece? But it's the first one you can access, huh? I'm so confused. Wisdom. What a perplexing word. Some see it as the answer to every problem and the ultimate of all virtues. However, many of those with extraordinary intellect are troubled by secular problems. Is it because the geniuses are too arrogant, or is it because jealousy gets the better of the mundane? No one has an answer for that. Only one thing is irrefutable. Wisdom can coexist with selfish desires. That is true. Why has it got me going backwards through these?
The gleam of old blades.
What did Xandar see when he was recording tomes on the imaginary tree in his strange and ancient language? When I was little and first discovered the imaginary theories, what came to my mind was the image of a dense forest, not a huge tree. After going through so many things, I still find it hard to believe that the foundation of the universe is a giant tree that nurtures countless leaves selflessly and voluntarily. I prefer to see each planet as a seed carried by the wind that happens to land on the soil. The seeds then begin to take root and grow bigger, eventually forming the forest. The universe isn't concerned with our presence. It merely exists and observes. I mean, you're not wrong. Like, I don't know if it was ever supposed to be a thing that, that the imaginary tree does all of this, like, voluntarily. I have always kind of assumed it was just, like, an act of nature, you know? Like, there's no will involved, it just kind of happens. Screwlum, I've finally found you. We haven't seen each other for years, Dr. Chadwick. Please forgive me for not telling you that I feel sorry for your plight. I know you have long seen it coming. I brought this upon myself. After all these years, I no longer have to be reminded of that. I need help, Mr. Screwlum. I can tell you're driven to a corner, as you're still willing to talk to me after going through all these hardships. Planet Screwlum can be your temporary shelter if you need it. No way. I've pledged to myself never to involve any more innocent people in this matter. No matter where I hide, the IPC will find me. It's just a matter of time. I can't be on the run forever, so I need to fight back in some way. I've heard that a genius has developed a secret drug capable of blocking parts of the consciousness and memory of a person. I've never been close with anyone from the Genius Society, so I'd need you to pull the strings for me. The selective blocking agent? I've heard of it. I suppose it's the brainchild of that eccentric pharmacist. Indeed, that lady has no dealings with the IPC, so the risk of her selling you out is low. Question: do you think this is a surefire solution? All I'm certain is that it has the smallest price to pay. As long as I can forget the knowledge temporarily, the IPC will have no means to extract it from my brain. As for whatever I'll be going through, I deserve it. Everyone must be accountable for their actions, and facing the consequences is part and parcel of the process. I understand, Dr. Chadwick. I'll get you that drug. You're finally honest with yourself, Doctor. I'm glad for you for that achievement alone. I hope with all my heart that you can pull through these tough times. The Dr. Chadwick in front of you is at an advanced age. He looks very similar to how he was when you first met him. He still has those contemplative eyes, now tinged with a hint of gloominess. He can't seem to sense your presence. Perhaps you can take a look around the room first. The desk before the old man is stacked with unsent letters. On a letter cover, written in hasty handwriting, unauthorized send request. Return recommended. One wonders what's inside the safe on the wall. It could be completely empty, because the Calderon Chadwick right here has no more secrets he can hide. A few books are scattered on the floor. You peer at their names, and are certain they have nothing to do with Chadwick's specialization nor research subjects. You find it hard to believe that that old man would be interested in Gienjo Vidyadhara folk music theory, or perhaps he must have lived here for too long. Professor Chadwick has been placed under house arrest here? I should go talk to him. Doctor? Did they send their guys over again? Who is sent here makes no difference. I've said time and again that I'm no longer of use to you guys. You took the selective blocking agent. How did you know? I get it. This isn't reality, and you aren't an IPC lackey, are you? Wonderful. It's been so long since I had a normal conversation with someone. I don't need anything here, as they'll get me whatever I want. I'm just deprived of freedom. What have they done? At first, they pretended to be friendly with me. They tempted me with valuables and promises in return for my knowledge, all to no avail. Eventually, they lost their patience and started forcing me to read articles related to the theory of imaginary application. But the drug was surprisingly effective. Not only did it block my access to the related knowledge in my mind, but it also hampered my ability to learn the knowledge. Much later on, they accepted the fact that I had been reduced to a useless old man. Starting from some point in time, they changed their strategy and decided to just wait for my death. I'm sorry to hear that. You don't have to. It's the price I have to pay. The passing of time and the increasing pain seem to have alleviated my guilt, which is the only good thing about being confined here. What will happen next? I've gathered bits and pieces of info from the people they sent. Combined with my own deduction, I believe the IPC might be scheming to tamper with the memoria left in my brain after the death of my physical body. They probably think that no matter how tight-lipped I am, whatever remains of my dead body will be at their disposal. I'm scared, youngster. I'm worried that all the precautions I've taken so far will be negated upon my demise. At this rate, IPC will one day regain control of the Imaginary Pulse's technology and monopolize it. My efforts will all be in vain when the time comes. Please allow me to rebut that, Doctor. Your effort isn't in vain. Here we are again, Dr. Chadwick. Screwlum? I never thought I could see you again. I once thought so too. Life is unpredictable, but it has eventually shown us its benevolent side. I'm here to tell you that your effort isn't in vain. Even after the death of your physical body, you're still safeguarding your knowledge, leaving no chance for those harboring ulterior motives. It isn't the effect of the drug, but the ingrained dedication and perseverance in your consciousness. That's great. It couldn't be better. You know what, Screwlum? I've always regretted not listening to the voice inside me when we first met. It's just a simple phrase, but I haven't been able to say it. It's probably time I hear it myself now. Say it, Chadwick. Life is fleeting, and many reach the end with regrets. I can't say your life is a happy one, but it is at least complete when this moment takes place. I joined the experiment not for a good cause, but for myself. I wanted my talents and expertise to be seen by the whole world, and that's it. Thank you, Screwlum, and you. I feel much better. Probably never better. You've been through a lot, Dr. Chadwick. Now, if you don't mind, please let us be with you as you make your way to the end. Help Dr. Chadwick to his feet. Mr. Screwlum, please tell me. I have not gathered too many opinions on this matter. However, there's one lady's assessment that I believe I can convey on her behalf. In a few short years, Calderon Chadwick... You hear Chadwick emit a satisfied laugh, and then he no longer speaks. It's going by too fast! No! You can't keep doing this to me. Let's wake up. Thank you. You managed to unravel the mystery surrounding Dr. Chadwick and gave him freedom. He's not in the dreamscape. I found a way to convince the family to bring the remnants of Chadwick's memoria to her space station. As the witness to the completion of his life, I would like to invite you to pay your final respects. Should you wish to, that is. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there soon. Miss Herta and I shall await you in the seclusion zone. Oh dude, I totally forgot there's like... Oh no, wait, did I do this already? Yeah, never mind. I was gonna say, wait, there's stuff here I could do. But no, that's wrong. There isn't. Welcome back. 2 Amber Eras later, Dr. Chadwick is finally freed. He's now with us. How did he end up like this? What Dr. Chadwick dreaded the most became reality. After his demise, the IPC extracted the memoria in his brain with the advanced technology provided by the Garden of Recollection and sealed it in a memory bubble. They must have prepared for it in advance, as the process took place right after his death, so fast that even his consciousness in his final moments was preserved. That step alone wasn't enough, as the memoria preserved that way was, in essence, a stagnant pool. If it remained inactive for too long a time, what was in the water would eventually die out. Therefore, the IPC came up with a solution, sending Chadwick to Penacony to maintain the activity of the memoria. Speculation. The technology department must have struck some sort of a deal with the family. Under the family's supervision, Dr. Chadwick wandered in the dreamscape for 2 Amber Eras. If it weren't for you, their supervision would continue. And now he can rest. I agree.
This is such a miracle! It's hard to believe he has managed to resist the IPC until now with what little consciousness remaining in his memoria. I was right about him back then.
He's always been a genius, Madame Herta, but he isn't always this determined. Science and technology is not good or evil. For the past hundreds of years, he's been trying to redeem himself for a thought he had when he was young.
When she told me about him, I thought I would finally have the chance to learn about his research. It's a pity things turned out this way.
Those devices are used to maintain the vitality of the memory bubble temporarily. By turning them off, Dr. Chadwick will be able to enter a peaceful slumber. Let's pay our final respects to him together. Before you lies more than just a lifeless machine. It embodies a third of Calderon Chadwick's existence. Deactivate the life-sustaining system. You hoped for a response from the world to the departure of this brilliant mind. Yet all that lingers is a profound silence in the air. I don't know you very well, Doctor. We've known each other for a century, yet we've only met 3 times. Nevertheless, please allow me to address you as a friend. I understand this may not be much of a consolation, but in my calculation, your research had the potential to save billions of lives. Regrettably, the era has slipped through our fingers like sand. Prior to the onset of an actual disaster, all we can do is pray. Pray that the discerning gaze of Noose may turn towards the next Calderon Chadwick.
Well, shouldn't I also say something? Dr. Chadwick, although I've never met you in person, I deeply admire your intellect and research. You know, I don't usually give compliments, but our fields of study share many commonalities. Your work on the theory of imaginary applications has sparked my inspiration on more than one occasion, and I have to say, it's even made me, a tad jealous. It's a shame we never had the chance to work together. From what I've heard from Screwy and that troublemaker, you've had your share of hardships in your lifetime. Rest in peace, Doc. Is this over?
Well, it's a calm conclusion. For Dr. Chadwick in his later years, this would count as quite a significant luxury.
I never imagined I'd be bidding farewell to a fellow society member in person. It feels rather peculiar. It's a real pity. If only I had realized 2 Amber Eras earlier.
Madam Herta. Madam Herta.
Who is it? Did you all hear that voice just now?
Is the space station haunted? Calm down, both of you. I heard that voice too. Could it be the residual consciousness of Dr. Chadwick? Herta. Please come closer.
It's happening again, but this time it seems quieter.
Speculation. Dr. Chadwick's self-awareness still lingers faintly. It's making an eager effort to communicate with us. Madam Herta, let's get closer. Madam Herta.
I'm listening, Doctor. If there's anything else you want to say, now's the time.
I'm honored. My research, my knowledge, I will leave behind. Please accept.
Wait, are you saying?
Memoria is dissipating. Please come closer. Touch foreheads.
I understand, Doctor.
Herta's puppet takes a step forward, pressing her forehead against the trembling memory bubble. Yeah, I got the point.
Calderon Chadwick. It's absolutely infuriating. He was nothing more than an ordinary person with a lifespan of just a few decades, yet he managed to achieve such astonishing feats.
Seems like you truly admire him.
Admire? I suppose you could say that. But to be honest, I'm somewhat envious and a bit jealous. At that very moment, he entrusted me with all his life's work.
It appears that in the final moments of his life, Calderon Chadwick chose to place his trust in you, Madam Herta, even though the two of you had never met before. The reasoning behind organic life is truly unpredictable. Nevertheless, the impulses of organic life frequently embody a grand and romantic poetry that never fails to leave me in awe.
Remarkable, truly remarkable. Tens of thousands of formulas and equations are flashing through my mind right now. I never imagined there could be such a way to analyze the problem. From imaginary overflow to imaginary implosion, from theory to application, from a mere paper to the birth of the imaginary pulse.
What did you see, Madam Herta?
I saw the final words he left behind. To Madam Herta, while I've held my position during my lifetime, given the resources the IPC possesses, they will inevitably discover the means and techniques to reproduce the imaginary implosion pulse. The die was cast at the moment the imaginary pulse was created. Every corner of the universe is destined to be on guard against its threats. I can't turn back time, but there's still one thing I can do. I can entrust my knowledge and technology to those who are worthy, thereby establishing the groundwork for a deterrent system robust enough to counterbalance the IPC's might. My life is nearing its conclusion, yet from this moment forward, I aspire to be an unyielding blade eternally poised above tyranny and malevolence.
Dude. That was way more than I thought it was going to be, considering what the other ones like this have been like.
To think he would entrust his life's work to me. Did he not know this space station was connected with the IPC? But his wishes, they must be honored. Find a way to circumvent the IPC's surveillance, then. With my reputation as a genius on the line, I will surely get this done for Dr. Calderon Chadwick.
According to my calculations, Calderon Chadwick's research could have saved hundreds of millions of lives. Now it appears that this outcome has an extremely high rate of becoming reality. May you find eternal peace among that sea of trees, Doctor. Are you kidding me? Bruh. Well, time for another mad dash to get as many stellar jades as I can get my hand on. I'll see you all next time.